Friends, how are you doing? It's the weekend, and if you're here listening to me yap on the weekend, I really do appreciate that. I was thinking, going into March, it's March 1st here, and, we went through a lot here. January, really good month in the market. February started off really hot. I mean, people were making all-time highs in the market, and now we're here at the beginning of March, and we're kind of we're at a reset right now. So a lot of things have trailed back down, but this is a situation where you can look at this in one of two ways. You can look at right now, I'm going to buy fundamentally good companies that are actually doing very well with quarterlies, doing very well with cash on hand, and the growth pattern for these companies, these stocks, are continuing into the next handful of years, probably pretty certainly. But, in 2025, here's mostly where we're wanting to focus on right now. So, let's talk about SoFi real fast, because I for some reason, people ask me all the time, are you still in SoFi? You're still in SoFi? Of course I'm in SoFi. It'd be crazy to sell out of SoFi right now. When you talk about SoFi, you're talking about a company that is undoubtedly in such a growth pattern right now. I mean, their last quarterlies were, right under $800 billion. So SoFi, just like Palantir that we're going to talk about, they're very similar. You have SoFi, who is essentially the bread and butter of what the company is, the backbone of the company. It's a bank. It's a bank. Okay. That's just really what it is. It's good. It's moving fast, and SoFi is doing key things right now to really grow them as a company. They're going after the younger generation, 100%. But that's good for you, and that's something that you have to understand as an investor, that SoFi is going after the younger generation to where they're going to be buying houses, cars, they're going to need loans, personal loans, business loans, credit cards, all this stuff in the future. So with that, undoubtedly, SoFi is going to continue into this huge growth position that it's in right now into the next handful of years if they keep on this pattern. I mean, even if we see SoFi at this moment, just like the next quarterly to go into 2025 here at Q1, it comes out just 5% over expectations. It's still a win-win, because the company is showing that, hey, we're even closer to getting to $1 billion quarterly position for each quarterly, okay? And once we're bleeding over $1 billion, with these quarterlies, that's some real conversation. That's some real high expectation of what's coming here in the future. So SoFi here, undoubtedly, is in such a growth position right now, and SoFi is my number one stock when I have personal friends, family, say what's something that I should be in right now that's growth and that's has a lot of opportunity in the next decade. I go SoFi 100%. It's affordable. It's growing uncontrollably right now. It's a huge piece of gold that you can put in your pocket. It's still being mined out of the mountain 100%. So I undoubtedly, I think that SoFi is going to be an excellent for people to keep building up position. And even at $14 right now, I mean, here's how I look at SoFi. So to let you into my headspace, how I look at SoFi right now, I look at SoFi as this company that is growing, especially in them as, just a all around with their business, deals, quarterlies, where they're going, grabbing attention, being in the zeitgeist of the market. And so SoFi does this thing every time, every 4 months it does the same thing. Quarterlies come up, people get all excited, they get jacked. SoFi releases are really good with quarterly. They release their quarterly, it's really good, maybe really good. The past two, really good. And then it goes up, it finds a new place, and people forget about it. But then it holds a new position. Now we're holding this $14, $15 position. Okay, great. 7 months ago, we were not at this position. It's just, this has been going on for years now with SoFi. When SoFi was just a handful of years ago was at $4 or $5. It was doing well with quarterlies. And now, look where we're at now. So it's a slow growth what we're seeing here, but that's okay, because it's giving investors time to build up a huge position in this. And this is what leads me to my next conversation of why I'm building up such a heavy position even at these prices with SoFi right now, is because I do believe if SoFi continues on this pattern right now, going after the younger generation, the middle generation, and even capturing just all out new people, new customers right now, we're going to get to a place, maybe probably this year, where they are in billion-dollar quarterly range, getting it, maybe flushing over it, where we're going to see their biggest quarterly, once undoubtedly is going to make the stock go crazy. And then two, somewhere in the near future, I don't know when, 2, 3, 4 years from now, SoFi could be in a position to get so expensive they do a stock split. Okay, we got a dream here. We got a dream of what could happen here. This stuff has happened plenty in the past to stocks. Okay, it happens all the time. And then on top of that, one thing that undoubtedly probably will be coming with SoFi in the next handful of years is a dividend. So imagine right now, even if you do $20, $30, $50, $100 a week in SoFi at these prices, think about what this could really, escalate into the future here with SoFi. So this is really, as a long-term investor with SoFi, I think this is the only way you're going to win with SoFi. SoFi, I think people want SoFi to be like Palantir and just like take off, crazy. And I do think there will be a time and a place where SoFi really has a moment where it just takes off here, undoubtedly. But I think it's going to be closer when it gets to showing proof that it's getting to a $1 billion quarterly here. But as SoFi continues to grow in quarterlies and price action, which will continue, it's going to get in a place in the future where people, as they're buying it now, even at this $14, $15, $13, high $13 range on a bad day, you're doing something good for you in the long run. Short run, like I was saying, this isn't like an AI stock that's going to have massive run up, then sell off, and then massive run back up, somewhere in the middle there. SoFi it's pretty much, if you've been watching SoFi for the past few years here, it's pretty much a creature of habit. Like I said, right before quarterlies come out, it runs up a little bit, boom, quarterlies come out, they execute quarterlies, everyone's like, oh my God. And then people forget about SoFi, but certain people are holding positions and, just letting the stock ride. So to me, SoFi is, as of right now, with the proof that we can see in it, it's not going to be a stock that's going to, it's not grabbing like everyone's attention. Because right now, what does the market want? What are most investors looking for in the market right now? They're looking for AI stocks. They're looking for AI stocks 100%. So with that, SoFi is in this position where it's just, as crazy as this is to say, because I love SoFi, but SoFi is not in this particular conversation where it's attracting everybody, to where there's certain people like, you know what, it's just not for me. And I look at that and go like, oh my God, that's insane. That's insane. But I get it. There's people that the growth on the stock price is not enough for them. I get it. But, this is something for me as a long-term play that's really going to play out down the road here and pay off, to where we might see somewhere in the near future a stock split and then see a dividend attached to it, to where this could be a heavy dividend stock for you in the future, plus an extreme heavy piece of gold in your pocket if you're able to continue right now, even at these prices, just buying SoFi right now. So friends, bullet points with SoFi here. Absolutely, I'm still in SoFi, 100%. I'm not selling SoFi. I'm buying SoFi. I have it in one account. Bought it real cheap, holding that, and then I've started a new position in, and like I just kind of, anything under $20 right now with SoFi, I am totally comfortable with. And I know that sounds crazy to some people, but I'm looking at SoFi as something that's really going to produce something more in the future, to where 5x amount of years from now, I'm going to look back and go like, thank God I just kept buying that, even at those $15, $18 price points right there, because SoFi is now going to a stock split. SoFi is doing a dividend. SoFi is buying other banks at this point. That's another conversation. SoFi is going to get so big to where maybe it just starts buying up other banks. That's a very real situation. SoFi is very in the hand of technology when it comes to bank. If you bank with SoFi, you will understand fundamentally why they are growing so aggressively and really capturing the culture of younger generation, because it's just so slick, it's so easy, it's just a beautiful platform to bank with. I mean, it's just so clean cut, amazing. You'll understand completely. All right, Palantir, man, the bulls are loving this. The bulls are loving this right now. The Palantir is down. It's wild to say that Palantir is down. I mean, even at these prices right now, saying that Palantir is down is completely crazy, because I think the majority of investors are still very much in a profit range. I mean, I know I am. I've been here yapping my mouth since Palantir was like $10 essentially. So Palantir being at this level right now, we've had sell-off. I don't think it's any secret. Everyone's aware of what's going on in the market, tariffs, Trump, everything, plus stuff that happened this week, whatever that's going to show itself to be in the market. But this week coming in the market is going to be very interesting, because we've got some more companies producing quarterlies, but Trump is giving the State of the Union, and that is going to be very interesting how that reflects in the market. 100%. It's March 4th. Trump will be giving the State of the Union. So it's Tuesday. He'll be giving State of the Union Tuesday. And I would expect this is going to be a Trump speech, where Trump is going to do what Trump does. He's going to talk about the market. He's going to talk about the wealth of the country, what they're wanting to do, implementing deals here, there, what's going to happen. So I suspect this will be this will be some life that the market needed. He would have to say something terrible that the market did not like, but I suspect it will be, from what we've seen in the past with Trump in these kind of talks, where he just goes off the cuff and kind of just rallies up the market and money, deals, big companies. I suspect the market will react to that going into Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe the rest of the week, who knows. It could start to pulsate the market once again, to bring it up. So why do I say this? The thing right now with Palantir, you have to know that Palantir, here's what we've seen. Palantir last quarterlies, huge. I mean, just freaking huge. Palantir, just like SoFi, Palantir is right in this position where we've got these two companies right now. We've got SoFi, who could produce $1 billion quarterly this year. We've got Palantir, who is extremely close. I mean, they just need like barely $200 million more dollars to produce $1 billion quarterly, and then they're in that range. Then they're there. Okay, so then that's gonna shut up a lot more bears. Okay, and this is what Palantir's been doing, where it's been just fooling these analysts that are saying that it's overvalued, all that. And I get all that. Yeah, Palantir is so expensive for what it actually is when it comes to what it's producing, but it's that you're buying it for what it's going to be and the expectation of what's to come with it. That's why you're paying $80, $90 a share right now. It's just like Tesla, why you're paying ungodly amounts of money with Tesla right now, because of a lot of that, it's what's to come here. But obviously Tesla being a lot bigger company and bringing in a lot more money. I don't think it's the question is if Palantir is going. I think everyone's on the same page right here. Everyone. It's not if Palantir is going back to $100, going to $115, $120, $130. It's just a fact of how fast. When can we see this? How fast will this produce up? I think it comes down to a couple things. It comes down to what is the market going to do here the next month? What is March going to bring to us? What is this week going to bring to us? What if Palantir was to get another big deal out of nowhere? That's a very real possibility. What if they released some kind of press conference where they said, hey, we just got a contract for $400 billion. Well, right there, that would probably bleed into Q1 of 2025 here, and that would probably tell us that they're going to execute this $1 billion quarterly, which will, I mean, you have to know this, that once it could be Q1, it could be Q2, but it's going to be one of those more than likely, and when they do that, it is going to send the stock into an orbit. I mean, we are going to see Palantir run harder than we have ever freaking seen it. So friends, I can't tell you enough how much that I think people should be buying Palantir even at these prices. If you have capital that you can put in this and let it sit there till we get to this next quarterly here, and perhaps perhaps they hit the $1 billion quarterly here, or they just come shy of it. They just get shy of it. Either way, Palantir is going. We already know people are willing, that they're able and they're willing to pay $90, $100, $120, almost $130 for Palantir. I mean, we know they are. We just saw it 2-3 weeks ago. People were paying that. So now it's a matter of how fast can the market kind of start to climb back up? How fast can Palantir continue to gain trust again? And I think there's still a lot of trust there. It's just, it's just people in the market right now. People are a little tense of the market right now. And, people are like, are we going to see the market crash more? What's going to happen here? I've seen a lot of people say, like, in comments and stuff, like, like, I'm still not out of the market. I'm not getting in the market for like 6, 7, 8 months. I'm just done right now. And I go, like, that's the craziest thing I've ever heard. Like, and I've seen that comment for years now. And I look at that and I go, like, man, I saw that comment in 2022, 2023, 2024, and now I'm seeing it here in 2025, and I go, like, wow, man, the fundamentals that person could have really learned, made in the market, the gold nuggets that they just, like, did not pull up out of the ground right there, is just really heartbreaking. So, friends, I don't think this is a market where you should be terrified. I think this is a market where you should look at this as opportunity, 100%. Because this could turn around real fast. What's one thing that's good to know here about our market here in the United States? We have the biggest companies. We have the biggest tech companies. We have the biggest everything. So we're still going to see a lot of big companies report earnings here. More than likely, we're going to see another year here in 2025 where, we're going to see valuations rise. We're going to see all these tech companies for at least the next 1 to 2 quarterlies here continue into high earnings. So more than likely, this market is going to start slowly swinging back up here before we know it. And Palantir is going to start to grab a range here. I think one thing, if Palantir does slide down into the $70 zone here, more than likely that will be the last bit of slide, I would imagine. And then Palantir will gradually start to climb up again, because before we know it, we're going to be releasing these Q1s for 2025. And I think a lot of us are speculating that we are going to be in the $1 billion quarterly range, in it, flushed over it, something, and it's game over at that point. At that point, you may never buy Palantir under $100 again. That's what should scare people. That if we see these quarterlies come out and they're $1 billion or over $1 billion for Palantir, you may never see it under $100 again. It would take something drastically terrible to happen for Palantir in the market, which is always possible, but Palantir will be rolling. It will be rolling. And as people have said, Dan Ives, all that, talking about he thinks Palantir is going to have a similar move here as Oracle did. It's on at that point. We're just rolling. Friends, I'm going to shut up. I wish all of you best of luck. I would talk to you again tomorrow about some different things. But I do want to say that, in 2025 here, I think fundamentally these are 2 of the best stocks you can be in, 100%. You're not going to go wrong. These are 2 growth stocks, bringing in the money, killing quarterlies, beating quarterly after quarterly, and they're going into $1 billion earning season. So, yeah, I don't know how much more proof you need. Friends, take care of yourself. Bye-bye.